This short series will cover the grammar of sentences, the very basics of syntax. It will build on the introduction to morphology, where we looked at words and pieces of words. This time we're moving from the form of words to the arrangement of words. I'll use the terms grammar and grammatical in these lessons, but they're different than how you may have heard them used in the past. In linguistics, the clearest point of comparison for what is grammatical would be the speech of a native speaker of a language, not a set of judgments from a grammarian or a teacher. That touches on a long-standing debate in linguistics. Depending on your perspective, you might check if a sentence is grammatical by asking a native speaker to judge the sentence, or you might check against other examples produced in that language instead. A simple way to conceive of grammar at this point is to treat it as a set of rules which allows you either to accurately describe or produce sentences in a specific language. The first topic we'll look at is a clause. A clause is in some ways a kernel sentence. It usually has a finite verb, which means that the verb reflects something about the subject, the doer of the action. It usually has tense or aspect, some way of indicating when or how the action takes place. Clauses don't have to have a finite verb. A small clause is often based around an infinitive. An example of a small clause is to go to the store, and that small clause might be embedded into another clause. We'll talk about embedding later, but one example is, I want to go to the store. So want is the finite verb in the main clause, and the main clause can be I want it, or in this case, I want to go to the store. And that's the main clause, or the matrix clause, or the independent clause, because you will find it on its own. A dependent clause will often have some introductory word like that, or if, and this allows you to identify the clause as needing to be put within another clause in order to form a complete sentence. This has been a very simple introduction to dependent clauses and independent clauses, but keep these in mind as we start to build more sentences in the next lesson.